What if one calm question from Barack Obama could shatter Donald Trump's perfect family image forever? In a single devastating moment, Barack Obama didn't raise his voice. He simply exposed the truth Donald Trump had hidden for years, and the entire nation watched Donald Trump break. In front of millions of stunned Americans, Barack Obama stared down a sweating, red-faced Donald Trump and ripped the mask off the so-called perfect Trump family with one devastating blow. Barack Obama exposed Ivanka's picture-perfect marriage to Jared Kushner as nothing more than a desperate, carefully staged cover-up for the one secret that could destroy them all, a twisted, forbidden relationship between Ivanka and her own father that had been hiding in plain sight for years. The bright lights of the packed town hall studio in downtown Chicago burned down on the stage. Thousands of people filled the seats and millions more were watching live across America. Two heavyweights sat across from each other, President Donald Trump and former President Barack Obama. And before the night was over, one of them would walk out completely destroyed, not just politically, but personally, because what started as another televised political showdown was about to spiral into something so shocking, so uncomfortable, that even the moderator looked terrified once the first accusation landed. At first, the energy inside the studio felt almost electric. Cameras swept across the crowd. People waved signs. Some screamed Donald Trump's name. Others chanted for Barack Obama. The moderator tried to smile through the tension, but everybody could feel it. Something was off. The handshake between the two men lasted barely 2 seconds. Donald Trump gripped hard. Barack Obama didn't react. But the look they exchanged was ice cold, the kind of look two men give each other when they already know this isn't going to stay civil for very long. Donald Trump wasted absolutely no time. As soon as he got the microphone, Donald Trump leaned forward with that familiar grin and went straight for Barack Obama's throat. "Look at this guy," Donald Trump said, pointing across the stage. "Biggest talker I've ever seen. 8 years in office, and what did we get? Weakness, excuses, apologies. He talks nice, sure, but America got ripped off." A section of the crowd exploded with cheers. Donald Trump smirked wider. "He's not even relevant anymore, folks. Nobody cares what Barack Obama thinks. He had his shot. Total disaster." Barack Obama sat silently, hands folded, expression calm, almost too calm. And that somehow made the tension worse because the more Donald Trump attacked, the quieter Barack Obama became. Donald Trump kept going. He mocked Obamacare, mocked Barack Obama's speeches, mocked the Hope and Change slogan. He even took shots at Michelle Obama. The audience started splitting into shouting matches, boos, cheers, angry chants. But Barack Obama still didn't interrupt. Barack Obama simply watched Donald Trump carefully, like he was waiting, like he already knew something the rest of the room didn't. And then Donald Trump made a mistake, a massive one. Donald Trump laughed into the microphone and said, "Unlike some people up here, I actually built a successful family. My kids are winners, great values, great genes. Everybody knows it." The second those words left Donald Trump's mouth, Barack Obama finally moved. Slowly, deliberately, Barack Obama leaned closer to the microphone, and suddenly the entire room went quiet. "You want to talk about family and values, Donald?" Barack Obama's voice was calm, controlled, deadly. "Because you brought up character and leadership. Fine, let's talk about family and values. Let's start with yours." The air inside the studio changed instantly. People shifted in their seats. A woman near the front covered her mouth. Donald Trump's grin froze for the smallest fraction of a second before he forced out a laugh. "Oh, here we go," Donald Trump muttered, but Barack Obama didn't blink. "For years," Barack Obama continued softly, "the American people have watched your family presented like the perfect American dynasty, especially Ivanka and Jared. Elegant, successful, untouchable." Barack Obama paused. Then came the line that made the entire audience hold its breath. But what if that image was never real? Silence. Heavy silence. Donald Trump laughed louder now, forced, sharp. "This is pathetic, Barack." But even Donald Trump's supporters weren't laughing much anymore because Barack Obama's tone never changed. No yelling, no drama. That calmness made every word hit harder. What if, Barack Obama continued, that marriage was never about love at all? What if it was carefully constructed to hide something the public was never supposed to question? Gasps rippled through the crowd. Donald Trump leaned back in his chair, jaw tight, eyes narrowing. Barack Obama nodded toward the giant screen behind them. Let's look at something real. The monitors flickered on. An old television interview appeared. Donald Trump smiling beside Ivanka years earlier. Then the infamous line played through the speakers. If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. A few people in the crowd actually groaned out loud. Others stared at the screen in disbelief. Barack Obama let the clip linger just long enough to become uncomfortable. Then Barack Obama spoke again. That wasn't just an awkward joke. Barack Obama's voice dropped lower. That was a glimpse into something much darker. Donald Trump slammed a hand against the armrest. Oh, give me a break. But Barack Obama kept going. And right around that same period, Ivanka marries Jared Kushner. Another pause. Convenient timing, wouldn't you say? The crowd erupted into whispers. Phones immediately came out. People started recording. Donald Trump's face turned visibly red under the lights. This is insane, Donald Trump barked. Totally insane. Barack Obama ignored Donald Trump completely. Let's look at the timeline, Barack Obama said. Your business brand was struggling. Public scandals were growing. Your image needed repair. And suddenly, America gets the perfect royal family wedding. Images flooded the giant screen. Ivanka smiling in white. Jared beside her. Magazine covers, red carpets, happy family photos. Barack Obama's voice cut through them all. The perfect shield. Barack Obama let those words hang. Because shields usually exist to protect something. The moderator tried to interrupt. President Obama. Barack Obama raised a hand politely. One moment. And somehow that was even more intimidating. Donald Trump shifted uncomfortably. Barack Obama nodded toward the screen again. I want the American people to hear from someone who worked closely with the family. The video feed changed. A professionally dressed woman appeared. Emily Hargrove, former assistant to Ivanka Trump. The audience leaned forward instantly. Emily looked nervous but determined. I worked with Ivanka almost every day from 2008 through 2012, she said carefully, and there were things that never felt normal. The crowd murmured. Emily swallowed hard. She would disappear with her father late at night for hours. Calls would go until 2 or 3 in the morning. Jared would sometimes wait alone while she canceled plans because Donald Trump needed her. Donald Trump exploded immediately. Liar, she's a liar. But Emily kept speaking. The staff noticed it. Everybody noticed it, but nobody was allowed to ask questions. The studio erupted into chaos, people shouting, others gasping. The moderator desperately tried restoring order. Donald Trump pointed furiously at the screen. She's making this up for money. But Emily didn't react. Barack Obama spoke over the noise calmly. There's more. The screen changed again, this time to a scanned internal email. One sentence highlighted in yellow, Jared understands the arrangement and will be rewarded for discretion and loyalty. The audience gasped louder this time. Donald Trump's eyes widened. For the first time all night, Donald Trump genuinely looked rattled. Barack Obama leaned slightly closer to the microphone. That doesn't sound like a marriage built on trust. Donald Trump slammed both fists against the table. Enough! The microphones rattled. This is disgusting. Barack Obama didn't raise his voice. If this is all fake, Donald, then why are you panicking? That line hit like a bomb. The audience roared, some cheering, some screaming. Donald Trump's breathing became heavier. His forehead glistened with sweat, and Barack Obama wasn't finished. Not even close. You've said things about your daughter, Barack Obama continued, that no normal father says. The giant screen lit up again, one disturbing clip after another. Donald Trump commenting on Ivanka's body, calling her voluptuous, talking about her beauty in ways that made even interview hosts uncomfortable. The audience reactions grew worse every second. A woman in the crowd shook her head slowly. Another man whispered, "What the hell?" Barack Obama turned toward the audience. These weren't isolated comments. Clip after clip played. Different years, different interviews, same unsettling tone. Then came the White House footage. Ivanka leaning close beside Donald Trump during meetings, whispering in his ear, his hand lingering on her arm. The room fell into complete silence. Not cheering, not booing, just silence, the uncomfortable kind. Barack Obama let it breathe, then asked quietly, "Look at their body language. Ask yourselves honestly, does that feel normal?" Donald Trump stood halfway from his chair. "You're sick." Barack Obama ignored him. "There's someone else." Another witness appeared, Marcus Reed, former head of security at Trump Tower. The man looked serious, tired, like he'd debated coming forward for years. "We had strict instructions," Marcus said, "when Mr. Trump and Ivanka were alone upstairs. Nobody interrupted ever." The crowd murmured again. Sometimes they stayed alone together for hours. Staff joked about it quietly, but honestly, most of us were uncomfortable. Donald Trump pointed furiously. "Fake, all fake." Marcus didn't react. Barack Obama spoke over the noise calmly. "You can scream fake news all night long, Donald, but these are people who worked inside your world." Donald Trump wiped sweat from his forehead. His composure was cracking fast now. Barack Obama leaned in again. "And we're still not done." The audience actually gasped before he even continued because everybody could feel the momentum shifting. Barack Obama nodded toward the sound booth. An audio recording crackled through the speakers. Ivanka's voice, soft, private. "Sometimes Dad understands me better than anyone, even Jared." The clip ended, and the silence afterward somehow felt louder than the recording itself. Donald Trump shot up from his chair completely. "You're destroying my family." His voice cracked. Actually cracked. The audience noticed it immediately. Barack Obama slowly stood too, but unlike Donald Trump, he looked completely in control. "I'm not destroying anything," Barack Obama said quietly. "I'm exposing what was hidden." The tension in the studio became unbearable. Security guards started moving closer to the stage. The moderator looked genuinely panicked now. And then Barack Obama revealed the photo. Never before seen, Donald Trump and Ivanka alone together at a Florida resort. Close together, far too close, her head resting against his shoulder. The audience exploded. People shouting over each other, phones flashing everywhere, social media notifications lighting up across the arena like fireworks. Donald Trump looked at the screen, then quickly away from it. And for one brief second, fear crossed his face. Real fear. That's when the giant monitor suddenly switched to a live video call. Jared Kushner appeared, pale, stiff, visibly nervous. "This is false," Jared said immediately. "Ivanka and I have a real marriage." Barack Obama turned toward the screen calmly. "Then explain the arrangement email." Jared hesitated. Tiny pause, but the audience caught it. Barack Obama stepped closer. "A real husband doesn't need compensation for loyalty and silence." Jared's jaw tightened. Donald Trump shouted over him, "This is a setup." But nobody was really listening anymore because the cracks were spreading faster. Now Barack Obama turned back toward Donald Trump. "Donald, if none of this is true, why does every witness describe the same behavior?" Donald Trump's breathing became ragged. Donald Trump's face burned bright red. And then Barack Obama dropped another bomb. One final witness. An older man appeared on screen. Dr. Richard Langford, former physician to the Trump family. The room instantly quieted again because this wasn't a former assistant or security guard. This was someone trusted privately for years. "I stayed silent for a long time," the doctor said slowly, "but the emotional dependency between Donald Trump and Ivanka was deeply abnormal." The crowd reacted immediately. Dr. Langford continued. "She prioritized her father over nearly every relationship around her. Their attachment crossed boundaries that made many of us uncomfortable." Donald Trump looked stunned now, not angry, stunned, like he genuinely couldn't believe how far this had gone. Barack Obama's voice cut through the tension again. "You built your political image around family values, Donald, around morality, around strength." Barack Obama stepped forward. "But if the image itself was fake, then what exactly were Americans voting for?" The audience erupted, half cheering wildly, half screaming in outrage. absolute chaos. And then Donald Trump did something nobody expected. Donald Trump pulled out his phone live on stage. I'm calling Ivanka right now. The crowd roared instantly. The giant screen connected. Ivanka appeared and she looked shaken, eyes red, face pale. Dad, Ivanka's voice trembled. This is all being twisted. Donald Trump immediately pointed toward the camera. Tell them it's all lies. Ivanka hesitated just for a second, but that second felt endless. Jared and I love each other, she said softly, but family dynamics are complicated. The entire audience gasped again. Barack Obama didn't interrupt. Barack Obama just watched. Ivanka looked down. I've always been very close to my father, she whispered. Donald Trump stared at the screen desperately, but Ivanka wouldn't look back at him anymore. And suddenly the call disconnected. The studio exploded again. People screaming, shouting, arguing. The moderator completely lost control. Security guards rushed closer. Donald Trump stood frozen beside the table, breathing heavily. And then one last surprise. An older woman slowly walked onto the stage. Maria Gonzalez, former head housekeeper at Trump Tower. The room became silent again instantly because everyone could see it in her face. She was terrified but determined. Maria gripped the microphone tightly. I worked in the private residence for many years, she said softly. Donald Trump whispered under his breath. No, Maria continued anyway. I saw late-night visits, closed doors, arguments, crying. The audience leaned forward. There were moments that did not feel like father and daughter. Donald Trump collapsed back into his chair. The fight drained from his face. Maria looked directly toward him. You told us never to speak. A stunned silence swallowed the studio whole, and for the first time all night, Donald Trump had absolutely nothing to say. No comeback, no joke, no attack, just silence. And in that silence, the weight of Barack Obama's final blow hung heavy. The truth was out and there was no coming back.